Alright guys, welcome back to another operaomnia video, where this is a follow-up video to the video that I uploaded earlier this morning on the 8-star armors that is going to be released first with the Divine Alexander event. Now, I want to address a few questions that was asked in the comment section of that video, and I also want to kind of, give my takes on certain things, and also give you guys my way on how I look at the 7-star armors, which ones that I normally pick up, and then which ones would I consider to fully realize into the 8-star armor. So we're going to talk about all of that in this video. So as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future operaomnia content. And a big shout out to Dissidia Compendium for the awesome setup on the basically just everything in general, just like with the 7-star armors, so on and so forth. Basically just having everything set up perfectly for this type of video. So first off, I want to talk about the upcoming first 8-star armors or the 7-star armors that you will be able to realize first. So with the release of the Divine Alexander, Gobez and Hope will be the first characters to have their 7-star armors being able to realize into the 8-star armors. So if you are curious about what Gobez's 7-star armor is, just at 7 stars, the Brave damage cap is increased by 15% or up to 11,498, and this is just for Gobez alone. And then his max Brave cap up is increased by 15% or 114,998. If you were to realize its armor and max it out fully at 3 out of 3, you would be getting an increase in those percentages. So if you decide you just want to throw a book at it, you will get an increase to the Brave damage cap up to 21% or up to 12,098. And then the max Brave cap up will be increased up to 17% or up to 11,698. Or if you fully realize the armor and turn it into an 8-star armor, then you can see that the percentages get increased up to 45% for the Brave damage cap up and then 25% for the max Brave cap up. Now, I did have one comment that I do want to address to everybody, which was the person basically, to sum it up, the person was just like, max Brave cap up is not really all that, because in Lufenia fights and everything, with Lufenia fights, you obviously have to deal with a lot of the Brave reductions, the Brave gain, and all that good stuff, which will prevent you in camping out in damage. But think about that, because a lot of the characters that are going to be coming up and from now on that are going to be released into Global will have that HP damage up ability in their LDs, their burst effect, etc., etc. So to make up for the non-Brave damage that you didn't do, like let's take example for Gobez, right? If Gobez is able to do 125k, right, and he only does about, let's say, I don't know, 112k, all right, so that is 12k Brave damage that is missing. Well, if you do have HP damage up from either something related into Gobez's kit, or if you have a support character, take example like Balthier. Balthier has an HP damage up. He will help so that Gobez can take advantage and get that increase of damage and do that 124,998 HP damage. So whenever you see 8-star armors, and if you see that the only thing that they benefit is getting an increase in max Brave cap up or the Brave damage cap up, don't really look at that entirely and think they're not going to achieve that unless say you have the right team comps, or if you're going in with a straight DPS type of team. Don't think of it that way, because again, a lot of the characters that are going to be releasing from now on will provide either themselves or they will be providing to the party an HP damage up. That's the whole reason why they started to introduce that, because knowing that in Lufenia fights, as we continue on forward with a lot of these Lufenia fights, they're going to be increasing the Brave reduction, the Brave damage reduction, the Brave gain, etc., etc. So they knew what they were doing. They knew that, obviously, players, they want to do the max damage to be able to defeat the Lufenia fight much faster. That's why they added in the HP damage up to help support the brave damage that you are doing now. So it kind of covers up that little bit of brave damage that you could have done if you didn't have that HP damage up. But with HP damage up, it will help you to achieve that extra damage that you're wanting to do. So that's one thing that I wanted to note in this video. Also, in terms of the stacking, I did have a few comments in the original video about that and how they stack. So look at it this way. Let's go over to Hope. Now, Hope, with his 7-star armor, he's providing a party attack up by 5% and a party max brave cap up by 5%, or up to 104,998. So everybody in your party, if Hope is the only character to have his 7-star armor and everybody else doesn't, then everybody in the party will be doing up to 104,998. If you go over to what he would get if you were to realize his armor into the 8-star armor, you're going to start noticing that those percentages do increase. So if you were to combine, let's say Hope, if Hope was fully realized, or even if you throw like 1 ingot, 2 ingots, it doesn't matter. Even if you, it doesn't matter what position you're in terms of the high armor. But if, like, take example, if you decided you wanted to throw a book at Hope and you fully realized Gobez's 7-star armor into the 8-star armor. So the similar thing between both of them is that they have that party brave damage cap up and the party max brave cap up, right? So if you were to combine both of them, let's say if Gobez was at the 3 out of 3 for his 8-star armor, so he would be doing 45% and 25%, and then Hope was at 0 out of 3 with just a book thrown at him. So that means that you would add that 2% to Gobez's party party brave damage cap. Yeah, so you would add 2% to Gobez's brave damage cap up, so that would technically be 47%. And then if you were to add the party max brave cap up of 7%, you would be adding that to the max brave cap up. So that would be 32%. That means Gobez can actually reach higher in the amount of HP damage that he could potentially deal. That's how the stacking mechanic works. Now, if you have like a full support team, and there are plenty of showcases out there, either done by the Japanese player base or those who are in the West that do play the Japanese version. There are plenty of showcases that will show, and you might notice that a lot of the characters, they are doing like 144k, 159k, etc., etc. That is because they have maxed out or realized their 7-star armors into 8-star armors. That's how you are able to do that insane HP damage onto the enemies. And again, HP damage up also helps out in being able to reach that. So take example, if we go over to Tifa, which will be getting her LD weapon finally in global for next month. If you were to fully realize her high armor, so if we go over to that and we fully realize that, you will see that Tifa, her brave damage cap up will be increased to 45%, or 14,498, and then her max brave cap up will be increased by 25%, or up to 124,998. And if you guys are familiar with what Tifa's LD weapon does and the insane amount of hits and the brave gains in between those hits, Tifa will be capping every single time doing that 124,998, and with the amount of HP dumps that is in her LD weapon, it's gonna come out to be a tremendous amount of HP damage that Tifa will be doing. So that's another example. Another one would be Squall. He will be getting his 8-star armor or 7-star armor in the future. I think it's out in global right now. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So whenever Squall is able to realize his 7-star armor, you're gonna see that Squall at oh, thank you for the sub. you're gonna see that with Squall, he's gonna be capping because he has that extra 35% for his Brave damage cap up, or 13,498, and his max Brave cap up at 35%, or 134,998. So that is the highest amount of damage that he can do by himself, potentially do by himself, if he did not have any other high armors that were supportive, that were party high armors that help support the rest of the team in being able to increase that percentage up a little bit more. So that's such another example right there. And then, like, even in the future, even like right now in the JP side, take example of Fran. Fran has all of those auras from her 7-star armor that is able to reduce the enemies like initial brave, max brave, and all that other stuff, correct? And then she also gives herself a max brave cap up by 10%, or 109,998, even though she did get a change on that whenever she got her LD weapon, so now it's 15%. Whenever you realize her high armor, you're going to see, look at that percentage, 45% for her max brave cap up, or 144,998. Those percentages, as we start moving forward on the global side, they will start increasing more and more. And if you do have those high armor, like the support characters or the utility characters that have the party brave damage cap up or the party max brave cap up, you're going to start noticing that you're going to be doing higher HP damage. Of course, that also depends on your team comps, how your team comps are working, how much HP damage up that you have. Because, I mean, especially now in global, we do have a few characters that do help in being able to increase the HP damage up. I mean, we have Balthier, we have Sarah. Sarah is, we don't have the global Sarah that we have right now in JP, so you can take advantage of what Sarah has. And again, there will be future characters later on that will help you in that HP damage up, either on the character themselves, or they will be helping out as either a support type of a character or utility. They will be helping out in that HP damage up, and they will be able to help you in potentially doing that high damage. Now, to end off this video, the way that I look at the 7-star armors and how I determine if I want to go ahead and fully realize in 7-star armors and make them into the 8-star armors. So my first thing is I go by their utility. I look at them and be like, okay, what would they bring to party comps? What would they bring if say they were a DPS character? So let's take example Bots, right? Bots is going to be the second BT character to be released in June for global. Now Bots, he has amazing auras. He does so much for the team. And because of that, I plan on fully realizing his 7-star armor, because once he gets his BT plus later on global, he will be doing so much more. So if we let's quickly search up Bots real quick. So if we look at Bots, we look at his gear, and then we look at his 7-star armor, you're gonna see that at 3 out of 3, the max brave cap up will be increased by 20% for Bots, or 119,998, and then his brave damage cap up will be increased by 35%. Also, he is providing a small 5% to the party as well. So he is not only fully supporting himself, but he is also giving that little bit of support to the party, aside from his auras that he has in his kit. So because of that, and because of what he brings to party comps, he's going to be one of the first characters on my global account that I will be fully realizing his armor and turning it into his 8-star armor. Also, when it comes to BT users, burst characters, if I know for sure that I'm going to be using that burst character for a very good amount of time, if I'm going to be bringing them to a lot of Lufenia fights, I will be fully realizing their 7-star armors. When it comes to support characters, if the support character, like let's take example Poem. I think by now everybody knows that Poem is like the godsend of support characters, especially once Lufenia Plus arrives. poem with what she does and how she helps out against the Brave reduction and all that good stuff, she will immediately be getting her 7-star armor realized. So that's how I look at it. I don't know how you guys, because I don't know how everybody plays a game, because everybody, it's your game. So you have to figure out exactly like what you want to do, especially with the nugs, the ingots, the pages, and the books being at a small quantity. We can't fully realize every single character's 7-star armor. So that's why the way that I look at it as the utility, what they are bringing to the party for me, and then the usability. Like how often am I going to be using said character? That is how I personally look at it in terms of realizing or considering realizing their 7-star armor. So other than that, though, that's going to be it for the video. I mean, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this answered a couple more a few questions that may have crossed your mind. If you do have any other questions related to 7-star armors or just like anything in general, do let me know in the comment section below, and I will answer those questions as quickly as possible. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully it helped some of y'all. And yeah, like, subscribe, do other good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next video.